Благодарим за топлите думи за приветствието. We would like to thank the Secretary General for the kind words and for taking time to actually be with us this morning and taking time out of his busy schedule. It's really a pleasure, and it's really been a great experience cooperating within the framework of the Pre-Rights Initiative. Без повече отлагане, продължаваме с субстантивната част на програмата и няма по-добър човек, който да сподели, да предостави информация относно проекта Pre-Rights от представители на Централната европейска инициатива, и с голямо удоволствие отново давам думата на Ана Марконато от Централна европейската инициатива, която ще представи проекта Pre-Rights и ще ви разкаже по-подробно за дейностите, целите и резултатите от проекта.
Hello, good morning, everybody. I'm not sure I'm the best person because I see here many representatives from all our partners, which contributed a lot to the development of the activities of the Pre-Rights project. But for sure, I would like to first of all say good morning to all of you, then thank all the partners who contributed to the project and give you let's say a quick, but I hope comprehensive overview of what we did with the Pre-Rights project so far. So, okay. As it was mentioned before, Pre-Rights is a European project co-financed by the European Commission, DG Justice. We are at the very end of the project, as you can see from this slide. We started our activities in 2019, at the end of 2019, and we are about to conclude them at the end of the month. Pre-Rights stand for assessing impact and performance of preventive measures on EU directive and framework decisions, and it's it addresses also the issue of prevention of radicalization. As it was already mentioned by our Secretary General, we have the task of coordinating a consortium of 8 partners from 7 European countries. And the main objective of this project were to achieve a better coordination between member states, EU institutions, agencies, Council of Europe, the UN, to promote judicial cooperation concerning the legal prevention of crime and to reach a more efficient application of the EU mutual recognition instruments in criminal matters. Second objective was to reach a higher level of juridicalization of preventive measures, so to ensure coherence between the need for security on one side and the rehabilitative mission of prison institutions in order to respect fundamental and civil rights of the prisoners. And a clearer definition, world definition among security and judicial agencies in prevention policies with the aim to avoid conflicts of attribution among the various actors involved in prevention and criminal matters. What we did and what we achieved in fact and indeed is an increased capacity of national legal practitioners and authorities to address issues related to judicial prevention in criminal investigation, especially through a better implementation of the European Investigation Order and European Arrest Warrant. We contributed also to increase competencies and knowledge of prison judges and prison police to address prevention from a legal and procedural point of view, by better balancing, as I was saying, the security needs with the rehabilitative mission and purposes of the prison institutions. And we also contributed to achieve a better cooperation between member states and third countries, especially juridical authorities, towards a more coherent use of the mutual legal assistance instruments. How we did it as I was saying, Pre-Rights has started its activities in 2019. Then, as all the projects and all of the activities in this year, we were affected by the COVID-19 situation. So we prolonged a little bit the duration of the project until the end of July this year. And during these 2 years and a half, as a whole, we implemented a set of combined activities along 3 main streams. So the research activities, the living labs, and the training activities. Concerning the research activities, we collected data and solid data from legal first-line practitioners, especially concerning their practical experience in addressing the different constraints and issues related to the implementation of the European instruments, the European arrest warrant, and the other framework decisions. Then we implemented and organized also living labs. So these co-creative laboratories where different agencies, different institutions, different experts met in guided panels, so to elaborate creative solutions and also give us proposals on a given topic. And at the end, we implemented also, let's say, we transferred also our knowledge through training activities. Training courses were organized in the different countries, and all the materials are then made available also in an open platform that we created within the project implementation that we will see later on. So concerning the first activity, so the research activities, we have to thank a lot our colleagues from CST for this, because they were really responsible and leader of these research activities, leading the third work package of the project, basing their research activities also on the findings of the EU-wide survey that we also organized and implemented in the framework of another thematic work package of the project. So we organized an online survey with online questionnaires, but also we organized focus groups. And the research activity covered preventive measures that are adopted in the context of countering violent radicalization and terrorism, including preventive policies which are implemented in correctional settings. Attention was also given to the ways in which the EU and UK cooperation has been affected by Brexit. All publications, not only the research activities, but all the project publications are also available for the public online on our website that you can see here. So www.prerights.eu. But to go a little bit further on the research activities and to give you also an overview of what you can find in our website and as a result of our overall activities, 3 main reports, research reports were prepared, implemented. The first one, the report on prevention practices in pre and post trials, preventive measures in the context of counter radicalizations, providing overview of the different types of approaches and measures intended to address and to tackle radicalization risks, focusing on prevention. A second research and report on hybrid investigations and intelligence data gathering, reviewing the existing preventive strategies and tactics for addressing specific aspects of terror-related activities, and the ways in which stakeholders outside law enforcement and security services could contribute to the prevention of violent radicalization. And a third report and a third research, let's say, on data sharing and the evolution of the EU prevention with the mutual legal assistance before and after the Brexit. I was mentioning before that we counted a lot on the support and also on the feedback given by the experts And for these reasons, we organized two types of activities, the focus groups and the judicial living labs, having national or transnational focus depending on the cases, which represented for us a valid occasion to gather inputs from first-line practitioners, experts, and to draw a detailed picture on the set of preventive measures and their application in the different European countries. First of all, we organized the focus groups, which followed immediately the online wide survey that we prepared at the beginning of the project. They were organized in February 2021, involving representatives of ministries, judges, prosecutors, practitioner organizations, and law enforcement agencies, which were confronted with the implementation of the EU directives and framework decisions to exchange and provide additional information on the challenges, but also on the obstacles arising during the implementation of this process and the implementation of these instruments. So these experts had the chance to exchange experiences, especially concerning preventive measures in prison and in civil society prevention responsibility. The outcomes of these focus groups were fundamental and crucial for us for developing the juridical research that we also talked about before. And this was also an opportunity for us to gather a first impression on the survey that we designed at the very beginning of the project. So to have a deeper insight into the practitioners' perspectives regarding the enforcement of preventive measures in cases of radicalization and violent extremism leading to terrorism. Immediately after, so what we did, first focus group focusing on what on the survey, let's say. Then we organized again other moments of for meeting experts and practitioners. So from April to May 2021, we organized also 4 judicial living labs with the aim to address the contradictions and constraints stemming from the existing preventive measures and related legislation on prevention. And during the judicial living labs, experts had the chance to meet and discuss on specific cases that we prepared and presented for them in order to extract recommendations, so practical also recommendations in some cases to improve the current legislation and practices. Different judicial living labs were organized. From all of them, we got something and we identified problems, constraints, but also challenges for the future. The outcomes of these judicial living labs have been captured in single country reports and contributed then to the 2 final project publications that you can also find on the table outside this room. So the practical manual on preventive measures in Europe and beyond, promising practices and guidance, and the report on the scope of application of the European Investigation Order and European Arrest Warrant in terrorism-related cases. Both publications, you can find them outside, printed outside, but also you can find them again in the project website. So what we exchanged, the views we exchanged and what we got from these activities, we tried to transfer them into the training activities we organized in the second part of the project, basically starting from autumn 2021 until June this year. We organized 6 training courses in Italy, Portugal, Bulgaria, Malta, Romania, and Greece. Basically, in all our countries, these meetings were organized online or in presence. Magistrates, prosecutors, judges were represented and represented the main target group of these training activities. And more specifically, in the different training activities, our partners focused on specific topics, but more or less we talked about the contradictions and constraints to the fundamental rights of the detainee arising from special means of security applied in the context of pre-trial detention, and the use of the European arrest warrant for the purpose of judicial cooperation. Then we talked about the challenges and best practices of the implementation of the European investigation order and arrest warrant in facilitating cross-border police and judicial cooperation. So with a focus on cross-border cooperation on criminal justice matters. Same we did discussing about the joint investigation teams on cross-border level. And we also explored the national models and policies for the prevention of radicalization and violent extremism. So far, I talked about what we did. Now I would like to tell you what you can, in which way you can profit from what we did. Because at the end of the project, as one of the last activities, we developed what we call the Super Toolkit, which is an instrument, an innovative platform that we developed to offer an experience that will allow users, let's say, to improve their daily work, starting from the results, not only of the Pre-Rights project, but also of other European projects. We cooperated strictly with the JPCOPS project, but also used resources developed by other European projects that you can find also mentioned in this slide. Basically, the main aim of this tool is to make the users, so the practitioners' life easier by creating a unique search engine dedicated a dedicated search engine, delivering also a comprehensive training catalog covering different topics from radicalization to judicial and police cooperation through also an e-learning platform, the Hermes e-learning platform. The Super Toolkit is conceived as a one-stop shop to keep practitioners updated on what is going on in the field of law and security with relevant case studies in the wider European context and the chance to exchange reliable knowledge. We conceived it as a tool useful for a judge, a lawyer, prosecutor, or anybody part of the law of a law enforcement agencies or anybody working in the judicial field. In this toolkit, any interested user could find a search engine allowing to have a look and to find relevant documents that could help in the daily work. The Super Toolkit is available at this website, www.supertoolkit.eu. To enter and access the resources is quite easy. You just have to subscribe, sign up, register to the toolkit. You will receive also, you have to set a password. You then will receive, confirmation of registration, and you can access what you can see here in the toolbar. So basically access to training, access to case law, other resources, fact sheets, other instruments that we make available for all of you. So our message today is to go on our website, go on the Super Toolkit website, access, register for the Super Toolkit, and you can then access what we give you at disposal. So you can go to training and look for courses on radicalization and other data protection and other topics. Just insert a keyword to find the right training course. You can then access these training courses through the Hermes platform upon registration again. Or you can go there and search for relevant, innovative, and important publications on research in the field of radicalizations, handbooks, articles, sources, best practices, And you can access also the case laws, download publications from a database of selected project websites, and also you can find a section dedicated to financing opportunities in all the mentioned fields. So our message is, please go and make good use of this instrument. For any additional question, information, I remain available. For the moment, I thank you for your time.